Welcome to the Unfuck Your Fitness podcast. I am your host, Christy Castillo, and I'm here to give you real talk and cut the BS so you can actually enjoy building a body you love. I'm a personal trainer obsessed with giving you simple action steps to take you from feeling stuck to feeling sexy. Let's go. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to today's episode. I'm going to be talking to you today about how I shift myself and my Fit Club clients, my one-on-one clients, whatever clients are kind of in this space to be doing this along with me, how I shift my mindset from summer to fall, kind of what that's looking like for me right now, physically, mentally, technically, all the things. And then also how I switch my food, my macros, my tracking, what that looks like. And then also how I switch my workouts and how I'm kind of progressing my workouts into more of a build phase instead of a shred/sculpt phase. Now, these phases are kind of like shred and sculpt means basically I'm losing fat to show the muscles that I have underneath the fat. And then build means I'm adding more muscle. And if I'm eating in a surplus, too much of a surplus, I'm going to add a little bit of fat, and that's okay. So that's what that means. The words shred, sculpt, build, different terms like that. Lean. I'm trying to think of other words that people say for like build and gain and all that kind of stuff. It's basically just either you're putting on more muscle or you're kind of shredding down fat around the muscle. So it's not like the workouts don't change a ton. The food doesn't change a ton, but I do kind of want to walk you through this process of what that's looking like for me. And then also, if you are interested in starting a program, right now is a really good time to do so. We are just wrapping up the last month of my summer sculpt programming inside of my Fit Club program. And we're moving into exactly what I'm going to be talking about in this episode. So if you are interested in having a program to follow and kind of learning more about this, I highly encourage you to join my app, join Fit Club. It's only $35 a month. You get access to me, you get access to a community of ladies, you get any kind of information that I'm coming out with. There's PDFs in there about the supplements that I love, how to work the app. I'm in there answering questions. So it's awesome. But if you have any questions about that, just reach out on Instagram at Christy Castillo Fit. I'm always there to answer questions for you. But I just wanted to kind of talk about that. If you're like, yeah, Christy, this episode is exactly what I needed. I need this. That's where I highly encourage you to be. Unless you need more personalized one-on-one coaching, then one-on-one coaching is a great option for you. Either way, this is a really good time of year, and not to just push my products, of course, but it is a really good time of year because, and even if you're not going to do my programs, that's totally fine. This is still a great time because we are transitioning from summer to fall. And if you miss this window of this gradual shift in your mindset, you will then wait until it's kind of too late and you'll be like, oh my God, the holidays are coming, and then you're kind of in this rush stage, this rush mindset, which honestly sucks. And nothing good is accomplished when you're rushing. So this time for me, I love because it sets the foundation. It sets the groundwork. It gets me back to the basics, which is a lot of what I'm going to be talking about. And I love that part. So I highly encourage you to really slow down, cherish this time to kind of slow down, set the basis, set the groundwork, and kind of go from there. Before I jump into the topic that I kind of already jumped into, I want to back up a second because something, and I just kind of want to rant for a second. And I know a lot of you are going to be like, well, that was a little slap in the face, Christy. But I have a lot of conversations with people in general, right? Like my friends in real life, and also a lot of conversations on social media with you guys. But it is so crazy to me. And I understand, but I also don't understand. It is so crazy to me that when I'm telling someone what we need to do, the technical things, this isn't even talking about the mindset pieces of things, right? But here's where I'm going with this. I am trying to get in like 12,000 steps a day right now, 10,000 absolute minimum. 12,000's amazing. And I'm going to start pushing myself a little bit here to get in more than that, actually. And I talk to a lot of my clients, obviously a lot. And even in like consultation calls or just nutrition calls or different things, if you're not like a Fit Club client or one-on-one client, I do still offer these calls. And we will talk about things. And it is so crazy to me that when I would say something as simple as what I'm trying to, let me just be blatantly honest. I will have a client come to me and say, I'm not losing weight fast enough. I think I need to cut calories. I think I need to cut 200 more calories. And I'm like, no, you don't need to do that because that would be underfueling your body. And then you won't be, you won't have enough fuel for your body. Your body will store fat. That's literally not what you need to do. What you need to do instead is get more steps in. Like, it's so simple. And I'll say, like, how many steps are you getting a day? Well, probably like 5,000, maybe 8,000. And this is like a certain person, right? I know if you're my clients listening to this and you're like, no, I get in 10 to 12,000, like I'm not talking about you. But this is a particular person that's like, probably getting in like 5,000 steps. I sit at my desk all day and I have a blah, 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 and all these reasons and excuses. And I'm not saying that they're not valid reasons. Okay. A lot of people sit at a desk all day. A lot of people are busy. A lot of people sit at baseball games and volleyball games and basketball games and have a desk job and have to make dinner and do all the same shit, right? But it's just crazy to me that when I will say, listen, I'm going to need you to get in a 30-minute walk. And if it's only 30 minutes that you have every day, it's going to need to be a fast-paced walk because we're trying to get in as many steps as possible. Not because I care where your heart rate's at, not because I care where the incline is, but I need you to freaking get in as many steps as possible per day. So whatever that means, if you only have 30 minutes, which honestly I think is kind of bullshit, but if you only have 30 minutes, then walk fast and get some steps in. I literally will have people say, I can't do that. I cannot fit in more steps. I need to cut calories. It is just mind-blowing to me. And I need you to know that I'm so passionate about this. You do not need to cut calories if you are already below 1,600 calories. And this is like situational because a lot of you need to already reverse diet up to 1,600 calories, and it needs to be with certain macros. But for the love of God, I just want to say, don't cut your calories first. First, move more. You have got to move more, you guys. The answer is not always to cut calories. Almost always the answer is to move more. And I don't mean to do more workouts or to do more HIIT or to like sweat more, things like that. I need you to walk more, okay? If you work a desk job, if there is any way you can get up and talk on the phone and walk circles around your desk or take the long route to the bathroom or go up and down the stairs or sneak out for a little bit or walk around the parking lot or get your ass out of bed sooner or stay up later or do whatever you need to do to get on a treadmill later at night and just walk. Go to the track like I do and walk. Walk around your town, call a friend and go for a walk. I cannot stress to you how much going for a walk 30 minutes a day would be amazing, okay? I got 2,000 steps in yesterday in 30 minutes. I don't know if that's good or not. I was at the track. I kind of did jog a little bit, but I had to get them in. Like I had to freaking get them in, okay? It just kind of frustrates me somehow that I'm like, listen, here's the answer. Hit your macros, drink your water, go for a walk, right? And hit your workouts, of course. And you're still like, no, I think I need to eat less. I think I need to cut this out. I think I need to cut this out. No, you don't. You need to do these very healthy things. You need to just increase your freaking steps, keep your food where it's at, hit your protein. That's it. Okay. It just blows my mind. And I just had to rant about that for a minute. And I kind of hope that it did ruffle little feathers. I hope you're like, that was me. And I'm always saying I need to cut calories and I'm always blaming my food. And sometimes it is food, yes, but are you walking? Are you hitting 10,000 steps? If not, freaking do that. If you're hitting 10,000 steps and you're like, I might need to cut back on calories. If you're at a good place with your calories and you would literally be starving every day if you cut back, don't do that. Add in 30-minute walk. It's so good for you. Stop trying to work harder and start trying to work smarter. Okay. Love you. That's all I got on that. It's just like, man, we really try to overcomplicate the process. And sometimes I'm just like, would you just listen to what I am saying? You asked me for help and I'm helping you. Do what I'm saying. Okay. On that topic, let's talk about keeping it simple, because a lot of times we get really, really, really overcomplicated in our lives and in our health and fitness. And that's, again, just being honest. So I've been talking to a lot of mamas right now and dads. I'm sure you're feeling the same way, but this time of year is crazy. I'm really overwhelmed. I'm feeling stressed. I'm feeling just a lot of things. And when I think about it, yeah, a lot of that is, I think, some of my depression, anxiety. Again, I've talked about this on here a million times and I won't stop, but just kind of how I'm wired. But this time of year is crazy. I was talking to a fellow traveling baseball mama very briefly this morning. Actually, she mentioned that she had been kind of off, I'll just say, because I know you're listening to this. But she just said feeling off. And she said going from basically 60 mile an hour to 0 mile an hour abruptly after traveling baseball had her kind of feeling frazzled. And I thought the same thing. I think I even maybe talked about that on a podcast or on my stories or somewhere, where the first full week that we were home after traveling for baseball, week after week after week after week after week, I know I talked about that somewhere, because I was like, I don't know how to cook. I don't know how to function. I don't have a routine. Like, I felt completely lost and really frazzled and really overwhelmed and honestly pissed, because I didn't know how to function at home, like not doing much, if that makes sense. So it was really weird. So life is always full of these transitions, like always. And we have to be able to resettle ourselves into them. Now, totally fine to be frazzled and pissed and annoyed and overthink and overwhelmed and, all the things that I just mentioned. That's totally normal. It's, not only normal, it's like it's acceptable to be like, what is happening in my life right now? What is going on? Because that's just part of life. But we also have to have these habits in place so that we can still continue on with what makes us happy, what makes us healthy, what we need to do for ourselves. Okay. So just because life gets crazy doesn't mean it's an excuse to stop doing the things that we know we need to do. This will probably be an episode in the next coming weeks, because I have some extra thoughts on this. But to kind of keep this wrapped into this little box of kind of transitioning into fall, what I want to say is summer is insane. And by the end of summer, I literally feel like I'm losing my mind a little bit. Like, I'm all over the place with routine, with food, with everything. Okay. And I know you understand, whether you have kids or not, because it's like you're doing parties every weekend, you're out and about, and it's like something's got to give here, right? We're transitioning into fall. My daughter started her college classes this week, so that's kind of easing us into things. My son starts school next week, so that'll be another jump into things. And we don't have any fall sports this year. Life is looking a little bit different just with the ages that my kids are at. And it's weird. It's going to be a transition. And so I'm setting myself up for that. So knowing that my mind is already going to be going from kind of frazzled to maybe even more frazzled, honestly, as I go through what this new routine looks like, settling the kids into things. How are we going to eat dinner? What's going on? Wrapping up, summer activities, moving into fall. I need to give myself a little bit of grace. This is why I don't jump right from my summer style workouts into my fall winter style workouts, because there will be weeks that I'm stressed out, overthinking, too busy. Like, my mental state won't match my physical state for quite a while, if I'm being honest. So this is a transitional period. I won't start, and my ladies won't start their full builds pretty much until, I don't usually start mine until October. August and September are usually this gradual kind of shift. And so that's exactly what I'm doing. And that is exactly why I'm doing that. I will ease myself into tracking macros again. I went on vacation a couple weeks ago, like I said in last week's podcast, maybe. And I ate probably my body weight in Oreos. Okay. No, I wish I was kidding. But I'm kind of easing my way back into that. So what I will do is start wrapping my head around the fact, like, this is kind of what I'm doing in this episode. This is what I've been doing last week, over the weekend, things like that. Wrapping my head around the fact that I've got to wrap up school shopping. I've got to get myself and my family back into like this routine, right? While I'm doing that, I will also start to track my food again and see where I'm at. I'm still trying to hit my macros every day, just intuitively, because I know how to do that. Intuitively, meaning I've tracked long enough to know what I'm supposed to be eating, but I'll start tracking again what I'm eating so I know where my baseline is. And I know my baseline is a little off because I gained like 4 pounds over vacation and haven't really lost it. I don't really care because I'm going into a build, so that is what it is. What I would like you to do as well is to start to track your food right now and see where you're at, because to have a baseline is really important to know where you need to go. Next, for my workouts, what my summer workouts have kind of looked like, they've been pretty steady. I've been doing the same workouts Monday through Friday. Well, I shouldn't say that. I've been doing the same workouts for 3 weeks in a row. Monday through Friday, each day is different, of course, but those workouts I do Monday through Friday for 1, 2, 3 weeks in a row. And then the 4th week has been something different where it's been kind of a deload week, and we've been doing some upper body workouts. We've been doing some lower body workouts. We've been doing full body accessory work, more of your smaller muscle groups. We've been doing foundational workouts, which I will always do and always have my clients do workout. Those are the main large muscle groups. We have your squats, we have your deadlifts, we have your hip thrust, we have your chest press, we have your back rows. Those are our bigger muscle groups, where our accessory work is smaller muscle groups like your biceps, your triceps. We're going to do some shoulder work, lateral raises, things like that. So that is just a very brief description, but we will do those workouts Monday through Friday, and then we'll keep doing those week after week after week so that we can progressively overload in those, but not so much right now that we're getting bored, that we're getting injured, that we're really, really pushing ourselves. I still want it to be fun and light and airy, and we're keeping the reps a little bit higher, kind of mid-range. So that's what our summer workouts look like, because I also have them set up in my app so that if you're only doing 3 workouts a week, you're just going to do the foundations. If you're doing 4 workouts a week, you'll pick all the foundations plus an upper or a lower or one of the sculpts that are in there. If you're doing 5 days a week, obviously you'll do all 5 that are in there. And then that 4th week can be a deload week. Either we're doing the same workouts and we're just lifting a little bit lighter again and backing off and giving our body the break that it needs to repair our muscles and grow. Or we're doing something different. We're working on some mobility, flexibility. We're working on all upper, all lower, kind of splitting things up a little bit differently so that our muscles don't really know what's coming, and we're constantly keeping them on their toes, right? And that's really good mentally too. We're moving into now a lot of the build workouts. What they will look like is very, very standard. We are going to be doing a deload week, but we're not going to be really messing around, not often anyway, with doing things that are full body based. I mean, full body workouts are okay, but we're not going to be doing a lot of thrusters and snatches and like an RDL into a shoulder press. We're going to be sticking with heavy RDLs, heavy chest press, heavy squats, heavy hip thrusts, things like that, because we want to be really intentional with what we are telling our body to do. We want our body to know we are lifting heavy, we're pushing ourselves for low reps, we're taking rest so that we are ready to go for the next set. We want to be very intentional with that. We want to be getting our steps in. We want to be fueling our body properly. So our body knows this is how much food it's getting. This is how much energy, fuel. These are the workouts we're doing. These are the muscle groups we're building. This is the job. We're not going for a run. We're not doing HIIT. We're not doing lighter weights. We are intentionally building muscle. But to do that, I have to be so structured, because if I miss a foundation day, then I didn't really work on my hip thrust well. I didn't really work on my squats well. So I want to be very structured in the sense that I want to be making sure that I'm hitting all my workouts that week. And I need to be in a place mentally, physically, routinely that I can do that. And I'm not there yet. So what I'll be doing is, that's why right now we're doing more of a 3-week progression and then a week where it's a deload week and we're kind of backing off a little bit. So it's this transition. Another thing that I would like for you to start doing if you're in this stage as well, and that I will do and my ladies will do, is I'm going to be talking about workouts in the sense of training rather than workouts. So it's fine to show up at the gym and do a workout, right? It's fine to just exercise for fun. It's fine to do these things. And obviously I talk about my workouts as being workouts and they're very intentional and there's a plan. And that's fine. But there's something for me about mentally switching it to, I am training full body today. I'm training my glutes today. I'm training shoulders today. I'm training chest and back day. When I say I'm training for something, the mentality that comes along with that is like, let's fucking go. Okay. I'm training for something. Like I have to show up for back day. Otherwise, I'm not going to work my back that week. Like that's unacceptable. It's like I'm training for a purpose. When someone's training for something, they're showing up with different energy rather than like, oh, I got to get my workout in. Like, no, I have to show up for my training today. So I love doing that. And it takes a little while for me to kind of get there, but that's something that I'll be doing too. And inside of Fit Club, there's a description where every month I'll talk about a description. And that's something I'll put in there is like, look at these workouts as you are growing your glutes, your back, your chest, your muscles, right? You're training them. You're showing up with purpose. Before, you can drink your pre-workout. I eat a couple rice cakes for fuel. I'm drinking my glutamine. I'm drinking my L-carnitine. I'm drinking my creatine. Like I'm getting that drink in. I put it all in one drink, but I'm, chugging that. I'm getting my rice cakes in. I'm getting my headphones on. I'm going out to train. Like it's this different mentality of like, I'm fucking showing up for myself. Okay. So I'm kind of easing into that as well, where I'll have days where I'm like, I'm training today. This is a training day. And then I'll have another day where like, I'm working on flexibility today, or I'm just going to show up and do my workout today, or I'm going for a walk today. So I'm gradually adding in more of these quote unquote training days rather than just showing up and getting my workout in. Right now, I feel like this time of year, I need something for me. All summer as a mama is all about kids. My kids are everywhere, right? We had travel baseball. My son got his driver's license. We were getting my daughter ready for college. She graduated. We had open house. We had graduation. Life is always about your kids when you're a mom. Don't get me wrong. But summer is just like, it's such a shit show, especially for someone who's very type A like me. I need routine, I need structure, and I haven't had that in a while. I'm excited to get back to that. But to say that I can just, my kids are starting school next week, I'll have a couple days to myself, so I'm just going to jump right back into my routine. That's crazy. Like that's setting myself up for failure. I'm not going to do that. I know better. So I'm going to ease my way into it. So I hope this is making sense, and I hope you're excited. I am. Also, I want to talk about the fact that we need to get back to the basics. Okay. We're going to kind of be in this frantic mindset of, and I've even seen some moms post about it, like the kids are getting back to school. So it's our time, right? Mamas, back to ourselves, back to the grind. And that's totally fine. Totally fine. But a lot of that for me, and I think a lot of my clients and a lot of my friends too, that are like me, we think about it as like doing the most. We're like, now it's all about us and we have more free time. So like, I'm going to go get a massage and I'm going to go get a pedicure and I'm going to go shopping and I'm going to clean the house and I'm going to work on myself and I'm going to get back to a routine. And I'm also going to obviously do my job and, all these things. It's like, we think like we need to catch up on things from summer. And that's very true in life. Let me start with the life part. So yeah, my house is kind of a mess. Things have accumulated over the summer. It's just been busy. And so I really want to get back to the basics of decluttering my house, closets, all the things. And I do that on a regular basis. Don't get me wrong, because I love to do that. I don't like to clean my house as far as dust and cleaning the bathrooms and sweeping the floors, but I love to declutter and organize. So I'll be doing that. And I think I have a whole podcast episode on kind of decluttering your life and how, your space is so important. But it is. And so that's something that'll be on my list and I will list these out. And that's something else I really encourage you to do is getting back to the basics and foundations and also making a list of things to do. So I'm going to be decluttering my house. I'm going to be kind of setting up some organization, getting back to that, right? If I want to shampoo carpets and if I want to, kind of deep clean the baseboards, whatever, like I'm going to list that out. Like, what do I think I want to get done? I'll list it all out. If some of that is like, that's not going to happen, actually. That was a good thought. I don't know who you thought you were there for a second, Christy, when you made that list, but we're not going to do that. I'll cross some things off or whatever. Because it's true. Like we're decorating our houses for fall right now. We need to cut back our flowers. We need to put mums outside. I'm literally just thinking of things that I kind of need to do and that I like to do. I like to transition. A lot of people are decorating for Halloween, decorating for fall, like I said, inside and outside. It's kind of a deep cleaning time of year, right? We'll be closing our pool. We'll be taking the stuff off the deck. Like, it's a transition. So it's not just like, yes, I'm talking about health and fitness, of course, and I'm going to get into that in a second. But we also have to think about these things in life because it's like, oh, I'm just going to start to focus on my health and fitness now. I'm just going to start to train and take this very seriously and add in steps. I can't do all of it. I don't just magically have more time. I have to organize it. And there are still things that are going to be happening in my life. Just because my kids are going back to school doesn't mean I have the next 4 months off of, taking care of them or something. It's like, I still have all these things to do. So being fully aware that there is a lot of stuff that comes up in the fall that you're going to have to do, and think about those things. Literally get out your calendar. I'll probably get out my calendar, my planner, and kind of plan out through the end of the year, honestly. And just what does it look like? Because for me, it looks a lot different this year with no fall sports. My daughter has always played volleyball, so I've always had a fall sport. So shit's weird, okay? But I'm going to kind of look through that. Then as far as your workouts, I want you to get back to very, very structured. As far as your macros as well, very, very structured, very, very basic. When you are thinking about getting back into your fitness routine, getting back into the groove, set goals for yourself, but know that it needs to be so simple, you guys. It has to be so simple. Make a list of staple foods. Make a list of staple meals. Staple meaning things that you should have on hand all the time, okay? Make a list of those things. Make a list of meals that you like to have and have that list on hand. If you're ordering groceries, I order my groceries from Walmart on the app. So I have this list in there of things it's like I'm going to need every week. It's so simple. You have to have these systems kind of set up into place. So make a list of staple foods, make a list of staple meals, have those things on repeat. Your food doesn't have to be super fancy. Your food doesn't have to be different every single day and every single night. You can have leftovers. You can have the same thing. Try to have close to the same thing, the same time of day, and it makes it a lot easier. You can have your same meal and just switch up a couple things in it every day to make it a little spicier if you want to. Okay, not spicy like technically, but spicier like fun. But when you start to think of food as fuel, you're just like, I have to eat this food. It doesn't have to be fun. It doesn't have to be pretty. Maybe I don't freaking want it, but I'm going to eat it anyways. Okay. We're doing shit on purpose now. You're going to get your steps in. So what does that look like? Do you need to walk 30 minutes in the morning while you're checking your emails on your phone? Do you need to walk 30 minutes in the evening while you're watching funny videos on your phone before you go take a shower and lay in bed? Like, what is it going to look like for your workouts? Make them so simple and have a plan. Part of the problem of why people can't fit in their fitness routine and why they can't get back into a routine and why they quit and why they think it's so hard is because they're overcomplicating it. If you're doing the same workouts week after week after week after week, you literally don't need to think about it. Okay. You know what's happening. It's Tuesday. We're doing upper body. It's Thursday. We're doing lower body. It's Friday. We're doing full body starting with deadlifts. Like, it's a no-brainer. Okay. It takes a lot of the guesswork out. For me, I have a lot of things that come up on a daily basis, an hourly basis, a 30-minute basis that are surprises that I don't want to think about. What am I going to eat today? What am I going to do for a workout today? How am I going to get my steps in? I want it to be so freaking automatic. Like, if I have 45 minutes, I'm going to get my workout in. And I know it's going to be pretty freaking simple. It's going to be hard as hell. It's going to be heavy. It's going to suck. I'm going to be out of breath. I'm going to be sweating. It's going to be hard, but I know what's coming. So it's not a surprise. I know I'm going to get results from it. If it's 3:00 in the afternoon and I'm hungry, I know I need to either eat my yogurt with some berries on top for 25 grams of protein, or I need to eat my 2 tuna packets with my hummus and salsa and tortilla chips because that'll be about 30 grams of protein. I'm needing about 25 to 35 grams of protein at about 3 p.m. So how am I going to do that? What are my meal options, right? It's now 5:00. I need my protein bar. It's morning time. I need my rice cakes with a couple boiled eggs. It's 1:00 in the afternoon. I need my protein shake. Do I want to mix it up, make it fancy today? No, I don't. So I'm going to drink it straight out of the container. Like, that's what I mean. It's so simple, you guys. I have it down to a science for myself. And it's so freaking easy because I don't look for new recipes that often. I don't look for new workouts that often. I go for a goddamn walk even then I don't want to. Okay. This is how it becomes so easy. And this is what I'm getting back to is not overcomplicating it, because the last few weeks, few months have been so overcomplicated. And maybe it's like that for you too. Summer is like that. No matter how much we plan, no matter how much we think we can stay on track, sometimes we just can't, or we can for a while, but it's like 12 weeks of it. Okay, I'm done. Like I'm so far off routine. I've got to ease my way back into it. And I have to get back to these lists. I have to get back to making it simple. I have to get back to this shit is not optional. I have to do it. I have to hit my protein. What am I going to eat? I have to get my workout in. What time am I going to do it? I have to get my steps in. What time am I going to do it? I have to drink my water. What cup am I going to use to do it? Like it's so simple, you guys. Track your food. Like just get back to these basics, but making a list of all the things you kind of want to do around the house, making a list of all the things you kind of want to do for your health and fitness, and ease your way back into it. So I'll start tracking again. I never stopped walking this summer. I never stopped working out this summer. I never stopped hitting my protein goal this summer, except on vacation. So I've got these things kind of down to where I'm pretty good. And this is where I want you guys to get as well with your fitness journey. This is what I work on with my one-on-one clients. I'm like, we've got to make it so habitual, so simple that it takes the thought right out of it and you're good. To get there, this is what it looks like. It looks like constantly going back to the basics, right? Why are my workouts stressing me out? Well, probably because you're opening Beachbody on demand, whatever it's called, body, I don't know, or YouTube or TikTok. And you're like, what workout do I want to get today? And then you're sidetracked. And then you're like, I don't really want to do that one. I did that one last week. 20 minutes later, you're still trying to find a workout when you could have been half done with it if you would have just made it a habit, right? You're looking through Pinterest trying to find some meals when you could have just listed out some foods that are high in protein, some foods that you like, and figure out how to make them higher in protein. It's really, really simple. We need to stop overcomplicating it. That's number one. We also need to account for every other thing that's going to happen in our lives, because if we just focus on our health and fitness, we forget about the other things that are going to happen, and then we don't have time for our health and fitness because we didn't plan well. So that's kind of messy, but that's just how I roll. My life is kind of messy. And this is why it has to be habitual for me, because it's messy. I will forget about appointments. I'll forget what day it is. I'll forget whatever, right? I have calls on different days of the weeks. It's all kind of a mess, and that's just how I roll, but it works for me. So that's not an excuse. It works for me because I've figured out how to make that work. But that's exactly how I will be transitioning from my summer sculpting, a little bit smaller mindset, into my fall training, build, getting bigger, kind of a mindset as well. I actually posted on my stories yesterday. I took a photo of myself before I work out. I do that quite a bit, and we'll post it and put something on it about either inspirational or I don't freaking want to do this, but I'm doing it anyway, just to be honest. And I said something about sitting a little bit thicker than I usually am this time of year. Usually this time of year, I have cut kind of all the way through summer, and I'm still sitting very, very lean. And I'm not right now. And I will probably talk about this a little bit more in other episodes too, coming up, just about how bodies change and goals change and things. But I'm actually pretty excited about it, which is crazy. I've been taking my creatine every single day, whether it's half a scoop or a full scoop, kind of playing around with the amount of it right now. But I've been taking it every single morning for, I don't know, maybe 2 months. And I'm bigger and not in a bad way. My muscles are bigger. I'm feeling really, really good as far as that goes. I'm still taking everything else too. I'm still taking my glutamine, my L-carnitine, my pre-workout, and my aminos every single day, some of those twice a day. But it's interesting because, typically I would be really, really still very, very lean and just kind of getting started into kind of progressing into a build. And I feel like I'm already progressing into a build. So that's exciting because I feel like, first of all, I was very excited because used to be when I was sitting a little bit bigger on the scale, it would stress me out. And then I was like, I feel like I'm bigger. I feel like I'm heavier. I feel like I'm, whatever that number brings up for us. I've been there. And now I'm feeling like that's freaking awesome. I have built some serious muscle. I look good. I look strong. I feel good. it's weird. It's weird to look in the mirror and be like, wow, I'm bigger. And I don't hate it. It's strange. It's a better relationship with my body, a better relationship with food, a better relationship with fitness in general. But I'm like, oh my God, if I'm already building some muscle a couple months ahead of schedule, just imagine what I'll look and feel like next year. I'm excited for that. Who knows? A lot of life can happen in between there, but that's kind of my thought process. So anyway, just thought I would throw that out there. But I hope that you enjoyed this episode. I know it was kind of all over the place, but I know a lot of my peeps are also kind of all over the place. So thank you for listening. I will be, again, doing these workouts myself. You'll see them on my Instagram stories and my feed. I need to post quite a few on my feed, actually. I've been kind of saving them up and not had time to post them, but I always am posting them there for you to see and ask questions about and just honestly see what I'm doing. I don't post workouts on there that I don't do. I only post workouts that I do. And so I think that's important too. I know a lot of influencers or whatever you want to call us will post these cutesy little workouts on their feed. And behind the scenes, I know that that's not what they're doing. And mine are it's all what I'm doing. The good and the bad and the funny and the dancing and the singing. But I'll be posting that there and I'll post everything on there as well that I'm doing as far as food and stuff. And then inside of Fit Club, of course, we'll be changing gears too. So I'm really, really excited and I will talk to you guys next week. Thanks for listening to today's show. Go ahead and leave a rating and a review. And of course, follow the podcast so you don't miss out on any future episodes. And I would love it so much if you came to connect with me over on Instagram at Christy Castillo Fit. I will see you next time.